Lo-Fi Horror Guys Growing on You Live Season 11 is sponsored by All In Merchandise. Bam! All In Merch is your source for the finest band merch from early hardcore to up-and-coming bands. All In is the go-to. Each item is developed with the artists and decorated with care in upstate New York by folks, cats that love the music and they love the scene. You know what I'm saying? Proceeds are issued directly back to the artists. Order your merch at allinmerch.com and support your favorite band. 3, 2, 1. What is going on, everybody? It's your boy, the Lo-Fi Horror Guy. Welcome to another episode of the Lo-Fi Horror Guys Growing on You Live. Today, we're going to be having on my dude, Chuck Goreforever. If you do not know this page, you have to follow him. Since I've started this page, the best way I can explain the Goreforever page is he is the front page for horror. You're looking for new releases, you're looking for different things, you're looking for shit that you didn't even know existed, and it's something that you need. Goreforever have it on his page. So I'm super, super excited to talk with him here and have him on the show. Let's get this started. Hey, Chuck! How's it going, my man?
What's up, bro?
Oh, man. Look, dude, thank you so much for your time, first and foremost. I am incredibly excited for this. I have loved your page since I've started my page. You are doing a great justice for all of us horror fans.
That's kind of you to say, man. Like I love doing this. I love collecting and talking to everybody. So I hear that a lot, which I'm happy to say keeps me going.
Beautiful. All right, man. So as far as the show here on Growing on You Live, I have two initial icebreaker questions, and then the remainder of the interview is about you, your page, your love and interest for horror, and I have one finale that I wrote just for you, my man. So if you're all set in, looks like you got a drink. I forgot to grab one of my own, but what do we got?
I'm good.
What do we got there, my dude?
Little Jesse James bourbon.
All right. That's it. The old bourbon's always been something that catches up on me too quick, and I start divulging into shit that I don't need to be saying. And
I should have reminded you to start drinking then, because then this would have made it really interesting.
Yeah, touche. Well, if we get to that point and it's needed, I'll go and grab something real quick. Not a big deal. All right. First off, let me ask you, as far as, my wife and I do some traveling. If we were coming local to you, what is, a food staple or a local restaurant that we would have to try that's a favorite of yours?
Ah, boy, that's a tough one. So many things because of what's happened. So many things because of what's happened the past year have gotten shut down. But one place I will say, it's called the Bayou. It is in Mount Vernon, New York. It's Westchester, if you don't know where that is. Okay. It's Cajun. It's like going to a place in New Orleans. So you've got your gumbo, you've got your po' boys, crawfish, everything. And a lot of times they have live bands playing when the world is normal. And it's a good time. You'll go there and just hang out, have your food, start drinking, and be like, oh, it's 3 o'clock in the morning. How the hell am I getting home?
Nice.
That's a great place. It's thankfully it's still going right now. Hopefully it keeps going.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's got the spirits with it, and that sounds like a really cool spot too. That's always cool when you have a spot that has a good drinks, a good food, and then you have bands or some sort of a live.
A lot of metal bands, a lot of like cover bands, and there's bras hanging from the top of the bar. It's wonderful.
Wow.
it gets wild, especially Mardi Gras time.
Oh, okay. Damn. All right. And then 3 a.m. comes around.
Yeah. Then it's the horrible thing of, all right, they used to tell you, don't get in the car with strangers, but I'll get an Uber. Whatever.
Right. All right. Yeah, we're going to dig into plenty of examples on why to not go into cars with strangers, I think, here, talking some of our horror interests here in a little bit.
Too true.
All right. So next, let me ask you, as far as if you and I were making a horror movie and I said, Chuck, look, the villain, you have to choose. What is the villain going to be in our horror movie? Just something that's an interest of yours right now that you're really loving. What would be the villain in our horror movie?
Ah, boy. As bad as it would sound because of, again, the state of the world and whatnot, but I would actually love to see like a school principal be the villain. Not exactly killing students or anything like that, but taking that and like basically taking their frustration, because we were all kids and whatnot. We were assholes. and just taking that and just taking their frustrations out at night after leaving school and thinking of little stupid Billy who was in his office just shitting on him, and just going out and having a drink at a bar and then just going outside and just taking care of somebody. I don't know.
Damn. Wow. Okay. I mean, that's something, you never think of as far as, taking that type of a situation, the little pains in the asses. And it's like, you know what? I know a couple of people down the street that I can help the world and rid them of it.
Something I never thought of until 30 seconds ago. So there you go.
Damn, that's pretty good. I like that. That'd be interesting for sure. And one of those things where you're like, I can see it happening.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Oh man, dear Lord, that's a good one. That's a good one. So now let's dig into your, yeah, right. I'll edit that out so nobody steals it. You know what I'm saying?
Let me take it. I want credit.
Yeah. Right. So if, take us back, as far as paint us a picture, where did your interest in horror initially start? What was the origin? What were, maybe even the first movies that you watched?
Well, giving away my age, I was born in 1980. So getting to around 5, 6, 7 years old was just in the middle of just slashers and everything. And for some reason, I was just always drawn to horror. I don't know what it was. It was just something I was always interested in. And my parents were super strict. I couldn't watch anything. But they wanted me to read, because that's what we want kids to do. I just wanted to go outside and play. And they're like, no, you got to read. I don't care what you read. You got to read anything. I convinced them to let me get Fangoria. So that was the way I was able to actually get to the horror initially. And then being that young, I was able to get a TV in my room just with basic cable, because I had a little video game system, Sega Master System, if anybody remembers that damn thing.
Nice.
Channel 11, which was a New York channel, if anybody from New York is watching, would always show horror movies. Of course, it was basic cable. They were cut to death, but it actually allowed me to, turn my TV on in the middle of the night and watch something, because where my parents' room was, they couldn't exactly see the gleaming light of my television. So I was able to see like a lot of Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street, Child's Play, Halloween, like a lot of the more basic, I don't want to say basic, but a lot of the more well-known horror movies on regular TV. Even though they were cut to death, I would literally probably sit where I am right now talking to the screen, just waiting to hear a creak in the floor, because we had wood floors, and just immediately just bang, just turn it off and just sit there like, yep, I'm sleeping the whole time. Wait for the creaks to go away. I hear it up, back in bed, boom, I'm back on. What did I miss? Never happened during a commercial, of course, but that's where it all really started for me. And also, it was always a running joke, because obviously my name is Chuck, so Chucky for Child's Play, and I literally grew up on Elm Street. So it was a running joke of like, all right, well, your name is Chucky, you live on Elm Street, so you're just all in it. Like, yep, that's me.
Damn! Wow, what a coincidence! You were born for this, man.
Yeah. And then also my father worked with his friend in a video store that rented Laserdiscs instead of VHS. So while I couldn't watch anything, I was rummaging through the store all the time, just the Laserdiscs of, Hellraiser, the Friday the 13th, just anything, the Fulci's, like anything I could just see, like, and just get images in my mind. I was just obsessed with it. Probably because they wouldn't let me watch.
Nice. Yeah, that's what this bad boy is here.
There you go.
That's an old CED. Yeah, you remember those?
Oh yeah. Oh, definitely.
Absolutely shitty technology.
Literally like the world's biggest floppy drive. I don't even know how that thing was terrible, but hey, it got the job done.
It was. Yeah. As far as now, it's kind of like cool art pieces, as far as like, I have a Friday the 13th one somewhere around here too. And, like the logo on it, you didn't see, I'm sorry, the cover art on it, you didn't see it on, any other releases, that big circle with the woods and the kids walking, like, damn, that is fucking cool. It kind of, show different alternate cover art that I really like, and The Exorcist had the thing, different things like that too. It's funny you bring up Laserdiscs.
Yeah, they were wonderful and terrible, but yet wonderful.
right. So with watching horror movies as a young man, as a little kid, what were maybe some irrational fears that developed from watching movies? Something that you knew never would happen, but at the end of the night, you're just like in a dark room and you're like, oh God, I'm gonna have this pop up.
always hearing the creaking noises, the wind outside after watching something as stupid as that was. And when I just heard it just jump as you're laying in bed, like, what was that? What was that? Like, I'm not. I'm on the second floor right now. I'm not on the ground floor right now. If somebody's that tall, we have a problem. I never had fears of like it, like Jason or Freddy ever stalking me or anything like that. It was always some sort of creature.
Okay.
Not even a creature I watched, just something my mind made up that I don't know. It's just as lower than my bed, but it was just right there, like creeping up, about to like bite my face off or something. That's all that I ever really developed, and it was always the same damn thing. If I actually had talent, I would actually make it and show it to people. Like, this was what haunted me when I was a kid, but
Okay.
I don't have that talent.
Okay. Nice.
I don't have that talent.
What earlier watches, I should say, what were things that initially drew you, as far as maybe like the score, actors, effects? Like, what was something that, even if you saw in a trailer or a commercial, drew you right in? You're like, I got to see that one.
Early on, it was definitely, even today, it's mostly the special effects. And at that time, the practical effects were incredible. Going through some of those movies, so maybe you'd see a trailer for it on quick little blurb on TV that you get just a glimpse of something, and it was just, oh, what is that? I need to see that. And with my parents being so strict, it was almost impossible. I had to really sneak stuff around to do it, but that is what really drew me to it early on, just the special effects.
Okay. All right. What is something that you didn't necessarily appreciate when you were younger, or something that maybe even annoyed you, that now, your tastes have kind of developed a little bit more, have changed a little bit, that you appreciate now about horror?
It's something that never annoyed me, but something I never appreciated was the people involved, the actors, the actresses, because a lot of them were in so many of these films. Being young, you didn't really like realize like who they were and whatnot. Maybe you'd see somebody like, oh, weren't they in that other movie? Whatever. Let me see what this movie is. And going back and watching all these films, over the years now and whatnot, and seeing them and seeing their performances, I really appreciate that now. And I wish I'm not too much of a convention goer, but I wish I was more of one, because I would go and just love to meet some of these people and just thank them for the works that they did.
Yeah, yeah. That is something that's incredible, just as far as even, the cats that are scoring these movies, the people, you mentioned the practical effects, all the stuff that goes into something that might be a fucking 2-second scene. It might not even be a blurb of a 2-hour movie, but it took weeks upon months to create. It's when you go back and you look at some of that stuff, or, the Greg Nicoteros, you have Tom Savini's. You have other people nowadays that are just absolutely busting their asses. Steven Kostansky, who's doing, Psycho Gorman and different things. You watch all the work that goes into that stuff. You're just like, holy shit, man!
Yeah.
Like, it's so much more. You definitely, you have to appreciate, loving the movie even more after you see all that stuff.
That is definitely a talent and art that I wish I possessed, because it is incredible what they do.
Yeah, me too.
It's incredible.
Me too, for sure. What about your local video shops when you were younger? What were video shops that you would frequent, and where was the horror section at? Was it back in the crusty, dark corner? Tell us about that.
It definitely was in the corner. There was, I mean, you had your Blockbusters and things like that, but there were a couple mom and pop ones that it was basically almost back by the porn. There was a curtain like right next to the horror section, and you'd just be sitting there like, of course you're young, what's going on in there? But no, like, my focus is here, just because you walked into those stores back in the day, and especially that young, not knowing a ton about the movies and just looking at it all and just being in awe of what is there. But yeah, it was always back in the corner.
Nice. What were some that were, continuous pickups, as far as if they'd go back and look at the history, old Chuck Goreforever was the cat renting this movie every time.
One of them for sure was Dead Alive.
Yes.
That was one of my staples for sure. It was again, even like looking behind me, it's like, oh God, what the hell do I watch tonight? I don't know what to watch and whatnot. And it'd be the same thing in the video store. And I was like, let's get that alive. I got that 2 weeks ago. Who cares? It's wonderful. It's uncut. It's absolutely absurd. The lawnmower scene and whatnot, and the mother at the end of the movie. That Peter Jackson is my idol for coming up with that. But and that was definitely one of my staples.
Yeah. Okay. I love that. And that's one of those ones too, as far as, it doesn't ever seem to get old, even, now today, with just the ridiculousness of it. But then, the charm that's hidden inside of it too. And, the craft of the movie and everything. And just thinking of old Peter Jackson as well directing it is still kind of mind blowing from, where he's gone now today.
Oh yeah. Well, people that I know that aren't really into horror films, that is one film I would show them. And that's literally one thing I would kind of get into at some point when something ridiculous would happen in the movie. I was like, oh, by the way, you know who directed this? And it's Peter Jackson. Isn't that? I was like, yeah, the guy that did Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit and all that. And they don't believe me.
They're like, wait, no, I have another one. Here's bad taste.
Oh God, please! I'll just break out Meet the Feebles, and now you gotta just. Yeah, that guy directed Lord of the Rings.
Dude, that is one of those movies that has always slipped through my fingers. I've never seen Meet the Feebles.
No,
I always have it on my list to buy it, and for whatever reason, it always slips on through. I'm just gonna have to pick it up because I've never seen that one, and it looks like it would be one of my top favorite movies of all time.
It's the Muppets on drugs. That's literally the Muppets on drugs. That's literally what's going on. They're screwing each other. They're shooting up heroin. It's ridiculous. It is absolutely ridiculous.
Is it kind of along the lines of what's the Vinegar Syndrome one that they just released some?
Let my puppets come.
Let my puppets
come, or something like that. Honestly, I didn't pick that up. So I'm not entirely sure, but
okay.
Judging by the name and the cover from what I remember, I'm gonna go with yes.
Okay. Nice. What about your theater experiences? What were local theaters that you would frequent, and maybe a favorite movie that you've ever gotten to see in theaters?
Well, unfortunately, my town had a couple theaters that closed down when I was like super young, or even like right around when I was born. And I would have to bounce around like a couple towns nearby. I couldn't get to too many horror films, but even seeing like not exactly horror, but Jurassic Park. I think that was 92. I think, if I'm right. So summer 92. So I was still 11. I got a December birthday. So I went to see that like opening night or whatever, and that floored me in the movies for sure.
Wow.
And then going a couple years after that, even getting into seeing sneaking in with like Scream and John Carpenter's Vampires. That might have been 98, so I was a little bit older at that point. But I had to bounce around between the towns to get this stuff, and sometimes they would just show crap once in a while. I was like, let me go to the other town. Let me go to the other town, and just bounce back and forth until whatever the hell I can find. And now there's an Alamo Draft House near me, and I'm just waiting for life to go back to normal because they put on all kinds of great stuff there. New films, old films.
Nice.
It's great. It's so great because you can have something new that's out there, and then the next day go back and see a screening of like The Shining. It's such a great place. So,
nice.
Waiting for that to reopen one day.
Okay, all right, that'd be sweet. We don't have anything like that around here, but I'm always envious when I hear of different things like that too, because just showing different things like as far as something that's a little bit newer or having some classics going. We have a drive-in. A little bit close, like in West Michigan there, which is cool. Sometimes they do like some newer features with something a little bit older, but that's about as close as it gets with that.
That's too bad. I wish I had a drive-thru near me. Sometimes I see some people on Instagram post some things about driving. It's like, they're saying like an Al Adamson like double feature, not the greatest thing, but damn, I can go see that at a drive-in. That's awesome.
Yeah. I mean, that was the last thing. That's the last thing I've seen in theater was I drove to a drive-in local here, and it was Possession. I saw that movie. Did you watch that one?
Yes. Wait,
What'd
which
you
Possession
think of it?
Are we talking about
The newer one that just came out, Cronenberg. Cronenberg's son.
No, actually, I haven't seen that yet. Originally, I thought we were talking about the
Oh,
old
okay.
Possession with Sam Neill. I was like, wow, I was in a drive-through. Drive-in. That's awesome.
I would
No,
have
not
been
that.
way more excited if it was that movie.
No, I've been wanting to see that one. I haven't been able to check it out yet, though.
Oh, okay. We won't talk that. You just watch it and let me know what you think of it when you do. You know, if you think about a chance, because it was a little bit different than what I was thinking. Yeah,
it's on my list.
Okay. So now, for the longest time before, the internet and such, getting, having trailers at hand and being able to just grab anything that you would like. You had different things like poster art. You had different things like VHS cover art. What were a couple of movies that come to mind that you chose solely off of the poster or the VHS cover art?
Fright Night.
Oh,
Fright Night,
yes.
for sure. Fright Night, I think, was 85, so I was too young to even know what the hell it was. But I remember I remember seeing the cover in the video store, and just as you're like just basically walking by and stopping in my tracks, saying, "What's that?" And vampires. Okay, that was a quick visit. Let's go. But definitely Fright Night.
Right.
Fright Night was definitely one. Even going back to Dead Alive with the pulling of the mouth open and whatnot. Yeah, trying to think of other ones. There's so many that everything just like blends in my head. But definitely Fright Night was one of the first ones that stopped me in my tracks.
You know what? When I'm going back, and this was a little bit more before my time as far as going to video stores, but I think of your reaction to stopping and seeing Fright Night, the cover, and being like, oh, one movie that comes to mind that I just started thinking about that I would have loved to have seen when it first came out was the Toxic Avenger. Just seeing that on a shelf and being like, what the fuck is this?
That is definitely one that I did pick up because of the cover art. But yeah, that's a doozy, that one.
What an absolute.
Actually, another one that comes to mind is
movie.
Blood-Sucking Freaks is another one that comes to mind now that I think about it.
Oh yeah.
Again, going through things down the aisle and whatnot. What is this? Like, holy God!
Yeah.
Just gotta look at the back of it.
Out.
Oh yeah. All right, let's do this.
This will do.
Let's hope it doesn't disappoint. And that one didn't.
Yeah, right. Give us an example of a good horror movie with bad cover art. What comes to mind with that?
Well, it actually has to do with Blu-ray art instead of like VHS art, but Near Dark. Whoever the hell did the cover art for Near Dark Blu-ray literally had no idea what the movie was and just said, well, vampires. So vampires are Twilight, so let's make this a Twilight cover, because that's exactly what it is. It's the worst Blu-ray art I have ever seen for a film. And I wish that somebody would just release it so I could literally burn it.
Oh my God.
I don't know whoever
awesome.
did it.
And
I hope they were fired. At some point, I hope somebody just said, "Who are you? What? Just go. Just leave. Go.
I love that. That is awesome. Yeah, okay, so how about, and the contrary? What about a bad movie with great cover art? What would be an example of that?
Demon Wind.
The cover art, you're like, oh man.
Demon Wind.
Demon Wind.
Vinegar Syndrome released it a couple years ago now. It's got the lenticular cover. The movie is pretty bad. For some reason, I really like it, but the movie's terrible. But that was one of the ones that the VHS even had a lenticular cover, which Vinegar Syndrome replicated. And it was awesome because it was a lenticular cover, and I was like, oh, wow, what's this? Check this out. This has got to be good. It was terrible, but for some reason I really liked it. So even when Vinegar Syndrome released it, I was like, ooh, I got to get that. It's lenticular. Ooh, yes. And even watching it, I'm like, why do I like this? This is terrible. But that's definitely one.
Okay, I like that. I like that for sure. That's really good. I don't know if I ended up getting to. I know I don't have it in my collection. I kind of have kicked my ass on missing that one, but I don't know if I've ever seen that movie or not. Is that one that you should jump out for if I see it for $100 on eBay, or just pass?
Oof. Yeah, that Vinegar Syndrome.
It's expensive as shit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's one of their slips that goes for big money. Even like that's up there with like
Hmm.
Blood Hook and whatnot. But
Yeah, right.
honestly, like it's a terrible movie. The slip is amazing. Even the movie's terrible. It's just one of the movies that's like I just wasted an hour and a half of my life watching this, but I want to watch it
I'm
again.
satisfied.
I just want to
Yeah.
watch it again. Like, I don't know what it is. I just want to watch it again. I don't know if you want to spend that much money on it, but maybe the next sale that they have, maybe just pick up the Blue and check it out. I don't know if it's streaming anywhere. I don't have Shudder or anything, but if you can find it streaming, definitely check it out. It's a very nice slip though. Vinegar Syndrome kills it with that.
Yeah, certainly. Yeah, you don't have Shutter. Is
Oh,
it?
do you have
Is it?
Shudder? Okay.
Yeah. No, I'm saying, you don't have Shutter?
No, I
Oh
don't.
man.
I always see what's on there. I see people talking about it, and I barely have time because of my job to actually sit home and watch anything. If I sit home and
Oh,
watch
okay.
anything, I'm just gonna pass out. So that's why I've never stepped up and done a subscription for it or anything, and that's why I have so
Okay.
much other crap, just so that I take a train to work and I can just watch something going back and forth on my train. Maybe get like 2 movies in a day doing that and whatnot. So
Okay. Okay.
one
Nice.
day I hope to have time to actually be able to watch something.
Okay. Okay. I like that. Now,
Yeah.
as far as what is something that comes to mind of a horror movie that you loved when you were younger and then you revisited it a little bit older? This kind of sparked from you saying Demon Wind. You
Mm.
revisit it when you're a little bit older and you're like, oh, this is not good. And some people might hate me for saying this, but when I watched Puppet Master when I was younger, loved it. It was terrifying. There's so much. I watched it just recently, and I'm like, I'm not impressed with this movie. I'm not. I'm not. I'm not loving it like what I once did.
Oh, that's a good one. I don't even know right now. I know it's funny. I probably have it sitting behind me somewhere.
Just
Then I
turn
bought it.
around, yeah.
Yeah, then I bought it. And I was like, this is great when I was just younger, but it's terrible. But they looked nice over there. But
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know. That's a good one, actually. I'd have to think about that one and get back to you.
Okay,
I
okay.
don't even know one off the top of my head.
All right. Now, everyone mentions the classics just as far as, you have your 70s, 80s, 60s, different things. But what are some horror movies recently that have resonated with you?
Well, the past few years, we've gotten a few anthologies. 1031, there's been a couple of those. They just announced last week that there's going to be a third one coming up, supposed to come out in October. So I'm looking forward to that.
Okay.
A lot of people involved with that were with the Witching season and The Barn. We got another film, The Barn 2 is supposed to be coming out this year. It was supposed to be last year, but of course COVID screwed that up.
Hmm.
Purgatory Road was an Unearthed Films title.
Mm.
I don't hear a lot of people talking about that. You hear Unearthed, you may think like it's completely gory, over the top. Like it's definitely got the gore in it, but it's a priest who absolutely hates people that steal and kills people for stealing, and is actually
Whoa.
really well acted. It's actually really good. I highly recommend that one if you've never seen it. Um,
Hmm. Okay.
Psycho
What's that one called
Gorman.
again?
It's called Purgatory Road.
Yes.
That one
Purgatory Road. Okay.
I would definitely that one I think is from a couple years ago. Might be like 2018, 2017, something like that. So it's 3, 4 years old now at this point. But
That's
definitely
not like any sort of like Serbian film shit going on in that one?
no.
Okay.
That's a lot. A lot of people will be turned off by that because it would be
Hey.
an unearthed film. So that's immediately what your mind is going to. But no, it
Yeah.
is not. It
Okay.
is not like that at all. I mean, it's
Okay.
violent, it's bloody, but not an over the top extreme film.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Yeah. That's one, and I'm not going to talk about this too much because I don't ever want to really give that movie attention. But that's one where I see different people, and I've had different people try to bring it up in topic, and just knowing the whole thing as far as like okay, there's at some point a baby or a child getting raped. I want nothing to do with it. I don't know anything about the movie, but it's nothing that has any room in my collection. And I don't know.
Yeah,
It's kind of weird because it falls on this touchy type thing where people get like pissy about it, and I'm like, well, man, I mean, I also really want to like Jeepers Creepers too, but the dude's a child molester. Like, I don't know. It's kind of weird. It's separating art and separating as far as the artist, I guess.
I've actually I've heard a lot of people that obviously that it's a very controversial film. That scene is it's rough. It's rough for sure. But I see a lot of people that, like you said, like they get very passionate about it. They freak out about it, whatnot, and call you just a piece of garbage for even watching it. And then a lot of those people are the same people that's like, well, why isn't Clown House getting a Blu-ray? It's like, all right, you're talking about a Serbian film that
right.
There's a scene that is, it's fake. It's in the movie. It's not a real thing. It's a special effect. It's you don't see like penetration or anything like that, but it's all there. It's all implied. And then you're talking about Clown House, where the director was raping one of the kids in the movie, and you're complaining that hasn't gotten released. Like, hello, you're not making any sense.
Not a good balance. Yeah.
No. I have crushed your argument. Goodbye.
Yeah. I love that. And see you later. Bye-bye.
Point. Nice. You go.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Like I say, I don't want to waste too much time on that because I don't want, I don't want it to be in something where it's like to each his own. If you're a collector, you buy certain things. I think just as far as when I had heard about what it was, I can even say as far as the movie Salo. Have you ever seen that? 120 Days of Sodom?
Yes. That's another one that is just brutal. It's just
it is
brutal.
And that was one of those movies where it was a little bit earlier in my time, and even knowing about it, I was still intrigued a little bit as far as like, okay, what exactly is this? What is going on? What's the fuss about it? And that was even a little bit more of a time, than it is now as far as knowing more of descriptions. And it was, kind of like you would have different threads online of people just listing movies, and you're like, oh shit, what is that? Then you watch it, or in my instance, I bought the Criterion of it, which was $50 or some shit like that, and it's like, what did I do?
Yeah, that's one of the ones that you heard about and heard what it was about and whatnot, and depending how old you were or whatnot, is like, really? I got to see that just because of what you're saying to me. And then you're watching, and it's like, why did I do that to myself? What's wrong with me? And then, oh, look, Criterion released it. Let me buy it because I do have it on my shelf over here because why the hell not?
Yeah.
It's still sealed, but I have it.
Yeah. I watched that bad boy once and I had sold it because I'm like, I don't want to have a friend over and have somebody be like, I want to borrow one of his movies. How about this Salo movie? This sounds good,
And it's close to a Serbian, those will be the two that they end up grabbing. Like, hey, how about this one?
Right. Ooh,
no. Leave that here.
Imagine that being a let's see, at a drive-in. Ooh, yeah, first date. Oh,
first date drive-in.
First date drive-in. You have that playing back to back. And then what's next? A Serbian film at 11:30.
Something tells me she would have been out of the car very, very quickly within the first feature. But if she stuck it out, well, you may have a winner.
Yeah. Touche. Another one was August Underground's Mortem. You have that one?
Oh yeah, I got the trilogy here somewhere. Here's right here.
Nice.
I got the trilogy.
There it is.
Actually,
wait,
Fred,
is that?
it's signed. Fred wrote on here, "Chuck, stay out of my bathroom." So I don't know why.
Damn. Wow. I didn't know that they had Blu-ray releases.
It was limited. It was 1,000 copies. It's all 3 films. It's been sold out for a while. Occasionally, it may pop up. I know Grindhouse Video had some for a while, but yeah, it's been sold out a few years. I do have they call them snuff editions, the old DVDs that were signed and whatnot. I do have those somewhere, at least one of them still. I think I traded a couple off, but I still have, I think, the original one. I think those are super limited, so I kept one.
Okay. That was another one where, just reading through some threads and seeing these different movies, you're like, oh, yeah, okay, I'll check this one out. And I spent way too much on that one. And embarrassingly so, I'm not going to say what it was because at the time I was just busting my ass working and had the money. And I'm like, you know what? I'll check this out. And I got it. And I'm like, this is not my style.
Yeah. Actually, Fred Vogel, he directed, what the hell is it? It's called The Final Interview. It was from 2018, but it just recently came out on Blu-ray. It's like a psychological thriller. It's not your typical Fred Vogel movie. So check that one out. I think you'll really like that one.
Okay. You know what's funny too is I hear everybody that meets because he's the director of the August Underground movies, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And everybody's like, he's just the most normal, kind, soft-spoken dude. It's like, wow, it's cool. And yet again, I mean, I think that's a completely different thing. Whereas mentioning something with the Serbian film or mentioning something with with a clown house type situation where those I'm like but then I guess with kind of hearing old boy and hearing he's just a fan of the art and a fan of trying to push things as far as he can and see what kind of reaction so be it. Go on ahead.
He did some crazy stuff. He was involved with Savini, I think, at his art school and whatnot, and he went on and it's what he wanted to do. He wanted to do something extreme.
Really?
And he went and did it. So I commend him for that for sure.
Damn, I didn't know that. Okay. He was
pretty
student
sure
in the Savini school?
I'm pretty sure he was. I know he's from Pittsburgh, I believe. So I if my memory serves right, or maybe it's just the booze talking. I'm pretty sure he wasn't at Savini school. I finished my drink, right. So that's
looking around for more.
Yeah, I got stuff over here, but I can't reach it. Actually,
go on ahead, man. Take a commercial break. There we go. Perfect.
Grab some rum now.
All right, there we go. Mix it up. Yeah. We so next I wanted to touch on as far as I meant as far as the liquors, mix that up.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, change it up a little bit, get into second or third gear there. So your collection, what were some of your earlier pieces? What were some things that started it all off for you?
I think some the VHS that I was able to sneak into my parents' house were definitely Romero's Night of the Living Dead, Dawn of the Dead, Day of the Dead, the Friday the 13th, the Nightmare on Elm Streets, Child's Play. I had a bootleg of Street Trash that I had gotten from somebody. That was one of those bootlegs at the time because you just couldn't find it. It was just nowhere to be found. It wasn't released, and that was just something that would just get passed around. And it was one of those things that would be like $250. And me being obviously a little kid, all right, there was no way to do that. But a friend of a friend's brother had one because he was 17 and had a job and all that stuff, and snuck it out of there one day and got to watch that and brought it back apologizing, saying I had to watch this, and he had two VHS machines, and he actually dubbed it for me, so I was able to get a copy of it that way.
Okay. Damn, nice. Nice. You had to utilize the technology back in the days however you could, you know what I'm saying? If you can't snag a copy, instead of $250, just go ahead and burn me one.
Yeah, and for whatever reason, he had the two VCRs. I don't know if he was bootlegging anything himself, but he made me a copy of it, and went there after school one day with my friend, and he just handed it to me. So what's this? He was like, your own Street Trash. I'm like, really? Oh, sweet.
Damn. Nice. I love that. Now, was that kind of building up the anticipation and waiting so long for it? Was it something that panned out as far as you ended up loving the movie, or was it something that kind of fell a little short for what you were hoping it was going to be?
For Street Trash? Mm-hmm. I really the special effects in that were kind of insane. I mean, the guy melting into a toilet kind of blew my mind, because I think when I saw it, I was probably 8 or 9 years old when I saw it. That I was just like, oh my god. I mean, yeah, you look at it now. Maybe that's one of those films that you look at and it's like, that's just this rubber thing kind of breathing in a toilet somehow. But 8, 9 years old, that's a hell of an effect.
Yeah, that is absolutely wild. I love
one
that.
guy drinks the Viper and literally explodes. So it's like, good job.
I'm still waiting for one of these smaller distilleries to make actual Tenafly Viper. That'd be so sick. Somebody that's a horror movie fan out there, it's got to be made.
I'm actually surprised nobody has done it themselves. I did pick up a media book edition from Germany. that was signed by Mike Lackey, who is the main bum in the movie, and it actually comes with a replica full bottle of Viper.
This is the boot.
So,
oh, really?
yeah.
Does it come with the boots? Is that the one?
Yes, it's that one. I didn't buy the bust because the bust I think was like €400 or something like that. But they have it that it was just the media book housed with the actual bottle of Viper, and I picked that one up. They only made like 99 of those, but I was like, I gotta have that.
Damn. Yeah,
so
that's sick.
That's a nice piece of my collection.
Damn. Yeah, so cool. And that's something. The last question I'm going to have is a couple of your favorite items in your collection too. So I'm excited to see that because you've got a lot of shit and a lot of cool shit.
I will grab that one. That one's right there. I'll grab that one in a second. But this is another cool one. It's I Drink Your Blood, but this is the first edition that they released. It was numbered to 500, and it came signed. It's got a card with Lynn Lowry, but then also within the inside, I'm trying to get it all in here and whatnot. It's signed by a whole lot of people on here. It's got director David Durston, who passed away some years ago. That's Basker, Tide Kearney, and John Damon all involved in the film. So this one actually, I think it came out around like 2000, 2001, and sold out really fast. And this was something that I heard like would go at a horror convention for like $2,000. Like people were nuts for this, and it's kind of become a forgotten thing because Grindhouse Releasing went and released just a standard version, not signed, and then obviously went on to do a really nice Blu-ray edition. And this is kind of a forgotten thing, and once in a while you'll see it pop up on eBay or whatever like that, and you could probably snag this for like $50, $75. It's not all that expensive anymore.
Damn, really?
Yeah, it's really surprising when I see it pop up, and it's just, oh, buy it now for like $55. Like, really? Like, oh my God, it's kind of a forgotten thing.
Wow.
But that's an incredible thing. I'm just thrilled about to have still.
You know, and your memory of it though, being that as well, and just kind of the chase along with that too, like. That's something, because I've had a couple of times where I've spent, a little bit on something, that's been far out of print, or I've just been chasing it for so long. But it's kind of one of those things where when all of a sudden you see a Blu-ray come out and you look online, you're like, okay, what's going to happen? It's like 25 cents now. It's like, oh, God.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I think we've all been in that situation at some point. That's, I have to have this. I don't have it. Let me grab it. And literally, like maybe like a week later, it's like, oh, this is coming out on Blue. It's like, oh, damn it! I think we've all been in that situation.
Man. Absolutely. One of the things that I'm going to share falls into that category, kind of. So we'll see there. But first, I want to ask you about if you could have any one prop from any horror movie ever. What would you want in your collection?
The Book of Eibon from Fulci's The Beyond.
Whoa,
that's
nice.
One that I mean, there's so many movies, there's so many props and whatnot, but to have that book, Fulci's my favorite director, to have the book that was used in that film, I would just be, I'm done. I don't need to buy anything else the rest of my life. Like I'm good. I'm set.
Dang. Wow. I wonder if something like that would still even exist, or if it just ended up getting tossed, after production was made and. Ugh.
Oh God, anything's possible. I don't even want to think about that. I did actually. I grabbed this one because I grabbed this one too. This is actually a media book from Germany that's made to look like the Book of Eibon. So when this had come out, I should have bought two of them so I can open one. But I've never opened it. But it was like, it looks like the Book of Eibon. Like I gotta have it.
Damn.
This is the closest I'll ever get to it. So.
Oh my God. All right. Now your interest in within all of the movies that you've watched over the years, give us 3 scenes that are just forever ingrained in your brain, whether they're just nasty, they're gross, or straight up terrifying.
Definitely the first one for sure, I would say, is the transformation in American Werewolf from London. Rick Baker. I mean, that was 1981, and
Mm-hmm.
that movie's 40 years old this year, and I don't think that transformation has ever been duplicated. Nobody's ever come close to that transformation. I can pop that movie on right now and watch that scene and still be completely blown away by that scene.
Totally.
It's a scene that if I didn't just hear the song, if somebody was like driving by for some reason playing the song in that scene, I will just immediately, I can play the entire scene in my head, shot for shot, and it just still blows my mind. Another one, let me think of another one. Maniac. The shotgun scene in Maniac, which they didn't have permission to be there. It was a real shotgun, and they did that scene and had to get the hell out of there. And seeing the dummy of Savini, seeing his head explode from that when Spinell pulls the trigger on that shotgun, that's another one that's just in your mind forever.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
Funny with that, real quick. The remake that they did with God, what the hell's his name?
Elijah
drawing
Wood.
A blank right. Thank you, Elijah Wood. I saw a screening of that in New York City with, and he was there with a Q&A, and he had never seen the original when he did that film. He saw the original after doing the film, and when he saw that scene, he literally said in the Q&A, he was like, he looked at the director and said, "Why the hell didn't we do that?" Because he was completely blown away by it, and he was shocked by it, and was angry that they didn't do that scene. They didn't recreate
Totally. Yeah, totally. What did you think of the remake?
The effects were incredible. I liked the first person. He wore like a body cam and stuff like that to do it. I enjoyed that. I mean, it never will. I knew it wouldn't get like close to the original, but for a remake, it wasn't that bad. It was pretty good. The effects were incredible in that too.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I'll have to go back and check that one out again, because I know I don't know if something popped up and I didn't get to end up finishing it, but I know I started it and I saw some of it, and I know it was first person and different things, but I can't remember what the hell happened at the end of it. So I'm starting to think of the movie now, and I'm like, did I watch the whole fucking thing?
They kind of ended the same way with him in the bed with the mannequins coming to life and whatnot and cutting his head off and whatnot. So
okay.
It's
damn.
Check it out. It's worth checking out again.
Sweet. Okay. All right. What's a third scene? What do you got? You got Maniac. You got American Werewolf in London.
Evil Dead. Evil Dead. The tree rape, basically. the tree scene in that one, running out into the woods and the woods coming alive, and then tying her up, and then all of a sudden, bam! I was like, oh, jeez, it's okay. I see why there
wild.
I see. I think that was another one that was from like 81. I can see why there was a lot of problems when they released that one.
Right.
Makes
yeah,
complete
I've been
sense.
seeing it for the first time. Yeah, there was it was one thing with all the gore and effects that were to it and everything, but yeah, then you have that scene with the tree, and you're like, oh, all right, where is it going to go from here?
yeah, because that's pretty early on. It's like, oh, all right. Okay.
Oh my god, yeah. So those are all great selections. I love those, and especially the American Werewolf in London. That one for sure is. I think is you mentioning it's been 30, 40 years now.
40 years, yeah.
40 years that it's been out. And that's a movie that even really aside from certain things aesthetically, it stands the test of time. You watch it and it doesn't necessarily feel like it's completely aged, and you're like, oh boy, this movie, the effects are kind of silly. I don't know if you could ever try to, as far as recreate that exact scene and get something as good as, what you got there with Rick Baker. So
yeah,
good
I agree
selection.
with that. I don't. It's never been duplicated in my opinion, and I mean now everybody's too lazy to do it anyway. They'll just do CGI. But if anybody tried to recreate it, which I'm surprised nobody hasn't, I think somebody would be able to do it, but never be quite as good.
I hope not. I hope not. There's been a couple of remakes that I'll say are were actually kind of decent, but I would hope that they would not mess with that. That and Jaws.
I know there was his Landis's son was supposed to redo American Werewolf. A couple years ago, it was spoken about, and it got scrapped. And even though it was Landis' son, and I'm sure John would be involved with it, I was kind of happy it got scrapped because it's just like, you know what, it's like I said, it's a 40-year-old movie that still stands the test of time. Just leave it alone. Leave it alone.
Yeah.
Just leave it alone. Like
Possessor
that
every
you
movie
mentioned
needs to be remade.
Yeah, Possessor that you mentioned earlier is Cronenberg's son, which I haven't seen yet, but it would be like him trying to go back and do like Videodrome or something like that. It's like, no, just leave it alone. The Brood, leave it alone. Just do something on your own. And he did something on his own, which I hope to see soon.
Right. Okay. All right. With your page, tell us about how did it come across as far as to kind of start, and how did it develop into what it is now, what it is today?
Before I was on Instagram, I would actually text my friend, if you're a death metal fan, I don't know if you are, I was good friends with Killjoy of Necrophagia. I would text him because he had a different schedule than me because, hey, he was a rock star and I had to go to work every day. He would be sleeping during the day and all these announcements would be happening. And I kind of started texting.
No, I still see you.
Oh, okay. I had the buffering thing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was probably around like 2013. I started with texting him with this stuff. And there was, at the time, limited edition stuff, but not like it is now.
Mm-hmm.
I would text them that kind of stuff because it was Scream Factory, and like I said, I mean, they came out just swinging for the fences with all the stuff they were releasing.
Mm-hmm.
And after a few years, I think I joined Instagram, I think in like 2016 maybe, and I just kind of started doing it, even though like this is information that would be posted by these companies and whatnot. I would just take it and send it to him, and I was like, oh, let me just start posting it here.
Mm-hmm.
And as time has gone on, pretty much everything now is almost a limited edition. It's kind of frustrating, especially being a collector, because when I really started getting like heavily into collecting, I was like, okay, let me focus on limited edition things to make sure I get those.
Mm-hmm.
And pretty much everything now is a limited edition. So as time has gone on, and he passed away in 2018, and I kind of thought about stopping doing it because that really took the wind out of my sails. But I would get so many comments from people saying thank you. Like, I would have missed this. I wouldn't have seen this, because I would try to also stay on top as much as I can with even the stuff from overseas. Because some of the media book stuff, like that Street Trash, which I still have to grab and show you, but even something like that, having the Viper bottle and whatnot, like, that's amazing. It had the bust with the feet on it when I was like, that's incredible. Like, I can't afford that right now, but hey, if you can get that, that is an amazing piece to have. It looked incredible. Like, whatever somebody can, like me, that wants it, that can collect, that's really why I do it, and that's why I've continued to do it. And still now, I still get so many messages saying thank you, and other messages saying stop making me spend money, which is quite often. But
yeah,
my wife's gonna kill me. Stop making me do this. I'm just giving you the information, man. Like,
it's just a tool. How you use it is on you.
I got one of those the other day because Diabolic ended up having the Blu-ray of Mortuary. Somebody Stripped to Kill on Instagram sent me a message. I was literally like just getting into bed, and he said, "Oh, Diabolic's got this." And luckily, that's the one I had in my collection. But that's from Scorpion, and it hasn't been around for years. So I snapped a quick picture of it and posted it, and then I think within like 5-10 minutes, it was gone. And I got a message from somebody saying, like, who was it? I think it was Marcus Movie Vault on Instagram. He said, oh, I gotta take a break. I gotta stop looking at your page for a little while because you're just making me spend way too much money. Like, something along those lines. I was just breaking his wallet, apparently.
It was like 14 minutes after you posted that, and I saw it, and I'm like, oh shit, gone. God damn.
Do you have that one or no?
No, I don't. And then I saw you post it, and that was one of the ones where I was like, I'm in that same boat, dude. I don't know how many of the things I have on my shelf because I've seen you repost. And I'm like, oh shit, I know this is gonna be gone in minutes. And sure enough, if I didn't buy a copy, it's gone.
Yeah.
So definitely, that's one of those things on Instagram where it's like if you could do a notification bell or some shit like that, I would have it on your page because, or maybe I don't know.
I think there's a way to do it.
That's a tough one.
I think there's a way to do it.
I'm not going to look into it because I can't do that.
Yeah, well,
it's one of those things where it's goods and but there's other times where I'm like, damn, I do not need to be doing that right now.
I get that a lot, and a lot of times I also respond with, "Yeah, I'm worse than any girlfriend you've ever had with making you spend money."
Yeah, well, and I've told you before too, where around my birthday, for instance, my wife will, she'll look into different things and try to find different cool movies that have releases and shit, and she'll specifically tell me like, look, don't go on these pages, don't look at da-da-da-da, Goreforever, don't watch his stuff because I have to check out different things. And I'm like, all right, so and it's cool. I can appreciate that because she actually knows what the hell she's looking for. And I'm like, all right, man, he's going to have some good stuff, check out his stuff. And I've told you before, I'm like, I can't, if I'm not messaging you or I'm not commenting or liking something, you have to know why. Around June, I can't be looking at this shit. I can't ruin the surprises.
Oh, I get it. I get
Which
that.
Which is a great complaint. All right, so last
Absolutely.
up, I wanted to ask you, as far as we're going to dig into some of your favorite releases. I wanted to, or even I should say, pieces in your collection. 5 of your favorite pieces in your collection, and I actually grabbed a couple of things as well. So if you want to show one, I'll show one. We'll kind of go back and forth.
There's one here. This is Cannibal Holocaust statue from Japan. Oh crap! My phone's about to die. That's not good.
No.
That one, it came. Let me get back here. If I cut off, I'm sorry. This one,
Okay.
It was 2 versions of it. This one was fully painted. There was another one that was a kit that you had to paint yourself, and this one was super limited, fully put together like this. And the whole thing's about 13 inches tall, and it sits on top behind me. This is definitely one of my prized ones.
Damn. Wow. Okay. Now you go ahead. As far as I'm not going to cut into your time. You show your stuff. I'm more excited about seeing that.
Yeah. Well, this is Severin's.
Oh, nice.
Oh,
nope,
sorry.
Gotcha. You're good.
My phone's going.
Nightmare Castle.
Nightmare Castle. This is a triple feature from Severin, and when they initially had it in store, it is signed. I don't know if you can see it too well. Yeah, you can kind of see it on there. Barbara Steele signed this one.
Nice.
So I don't know how many of these were offered, but this was one that when it went on the site, I was like, oh, I need to own that immediately. So that is definitely a prized one in the collection as well.
Sick. I love that.
I showed you that one. And I'm gonna grab Street Trash real quick.
Okay. Got the old Jason up there, Walking Dead, Phantasm.
Yeah, right. I'll put headphones in so I can hear what the hell I'm doing.
All right.
So this is how it came. It was a box edition.
$1.
Yeah, I wish.
Imagine that.
Hold on a second. My wife just popped in and she's giving me the cord for my phone.
Okay.
All right, I have power.
Man, look at that.
Out. Thanks, wife.
MVP.
Oh, absolutely. So that's what it looks like, and it is signed by Mike Lackey, which is funny. He prints his name, but
sick.
Yeah,
Awesome.
but this is again, you're saying like with somebody. It's funny. You see a lot of metal bands or like different things get like beers and whatnot. You see like a black metal one or something like that, but nobody's actually. Keep going. But this is the Viper bottle. It's got the crud on it, and it's filled with water or something like that. But it's the actual bottle. If I could have afforded the
bust,
feet, because the whole bust, I definitely would have done that. Oh, I'm sorry. Hold on. My phone keeps starting to blink even though I'm plugged in. I don't know why, but yeah, and that's the media book it came with the feet.
Oh man, that is so sweet.
Yeah, the media book
Incredible.
itself, I think, was it was 999 copies of the actual media book, but with the Viper bottle, it was only 99 copies.
Damn.
So that one is actually really, really rare.
Yeah.
That
wow.
one.
Sick. That is awesome.
Yeah. And I think, see if I can get my phone here, because I was trying to do it in the picture before, and it was just not going to work. Okay. Let me try to get it. I'm sorry.
Oh, man.
That is, I don't know if you can see it, because I can't really see what the hell I'm doing right now. If I back up a little bit.
So cool.
That is the Jason Edmiston artist proof of Halloween, of the closet scene. That there were only 70 produced of this version with the orange writing on it. The other one, I forget how many it was. It had the white writing. It was either like 200 or 150, something like that. I forget exactly, but
okay.
That one, if that one will show up on eBay or something like that, that goes for like a couple $1,000s. It's insane what that one will go for. So that is definitely another prized piece in the collection.
Dang, yeah, for sure. That's awesome. Have you do you have the other one as far as like the perspective from Lori?
Yes, I do have that one.
So sick. Yeah,
I got that one up there.
Boom. There you go. Awesome. That is so sweet. Very cool.
I made sure that I got that one too, even with that was the variant with the orange writing. Since this one had the orange writing, I made sure that I picked up that one as well.
Nice. That rules. I love those. Jason Edmiston, that's somebody too that's some unsung heroes, and people that I love interviewing on my show here as far as the artists that put in some of this stuff, do the cover art, God, bravo to some of those cats and some of the shit that they come up with. Even my dude Gary Pullen here with the old record. Yeah. It's just how do you think of this stuff? My brain trying to wrap around doing something like that, it's not happening.
I'm not a big print person. I only have just a few of them. I don't have one from Gary, but I made sure that I picked up his book. What the hell is it called? I can see it on my shelf here. Ghoulish, the art of Gary Pullen. I made sure that I picked that up because obviously, it's just in book form, but it is a lot of his art. I wish I had his Halloween 3 print that's got the 3 heads of the mask.
Yeah,
that's a great print. I had a chance to buy it at one point from his site. It had been off for a while, and I don't know if they were artist proofs or whatever they was, and I debated too long, and I missed out on that one. But that's one I wish I had.
Nice. Yeah, I that's one thing that I appreciate more and more too, and kind of digging in a little bit more with different Severins and different vinegar.
Yeah.
Here we are, just a couple of guys with terrible phone connections.
Clearly we suck, or everybody's just like, all right, enough, shut up.
Okay, this is enough. All right, but just as far as like the artists that go in and do the cover art, do the different things. As far as you got Chris Garofalo, who did the Slaughterhouse split with Vinegar Syndrome. Like,
oh yeah,
how did and drew some of this shit on a dinner napkin at a restaurant.
Yeah,
like what? Like, come on,
man.
Why can't I have that shit going on in my head?
I wish I had that type of talent. Can I take your order? Wait, hold on one second. I got this idea that's going to be on the cover of Fangoria. Hold on one second. I got this. Okay. I wish I had that type of talent. I don't have that though.
Oh my God. Oh my Lord. I agree. It's an unsung appreciation that I've grown more and more to love. So I love that you brought that up and brought up the print there too. Did you? Was that your last one?
With the print?
No, yeah, with your collection there, the items.
Oh yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
I can pull all the crap out here, but I think you would get bored and fall asleep.
Dude, that's one thing I love as far as some of the the fellow pages on here that I love. I love seeing people's collections. That's, one of the biggest thing that has drawn me to keeping, remaining on this page, even without doing these interviews and different shit like that. I love seeing just the different, like, versions of movies that people have and different things. I interviewed a cat. His name's Ami. He's a vocalist from a band out of Singapore, and he had this different edition of Drag Me to Hell that I was just like, whoa, like what is that? Show me the cover art to that, and show me like what details did you guys get? This is sick.
Yeah.
It's awesome. I love seeing that shit, man.
That's one reason with my page that I try to stay on top of crap from all over the place, just because something like that will come out and it's like, all right, we have here in the U.S. Oh, you got the Scream Factory editions with Drag Me to Hell. Nice cover art, slip covers out of print, so maybe you got to pay a little bit for the slip cover, and then something like that will come out and it's just mind blowing. It's holy God, like why can't we get that here?
Yeah, totally, absolutely.
I'm surprised nobody in the U.S. has jumped up on that yet.
I agree. Yeah, I don't know what it is, but that would be great to jump on top of for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
So a couple of things I had. Excuse me. Dear God,
it's fine. I'm drooling on myself now. It's good.
A couple of things I had pulled off to the side. I wanted to bring out. I wanted to show. This was one of my first VHSs that started. Actually, this was my first VHS. Was the old People Under the Stairs, man. It's nothing crazy as far as like overly collective or anything like that. But did you guys have a shop called Suncoast? Do you remember that Suncoast video?
Yes, absolutely.
Dude,
I definitely had one of those.
That place was so fucking. Was it great in New York, or was it? Just
it was
here that we didn't have shit.
It was a little pricey, but you were able to go in there and get some stuff, and stuff that was just hard to find. Even at the time, I remember Suncoast. I don't even remember if we were really just all over the internet at that point when I would go to that store. It may not be. It was just starting, because it was probably like the 97, 98 probably. Mm-hmm. I was in college and I would go on the internet and whatnot and started figuring things out. Oh, okay. But I remember going there and picking up stuff, even just, they would just have horrendous, even trauma films.
Yeah.
They would even have that. I mean, they had the mainstream stuff and whatnot, but you would just go to their tiny little horror section and you would be like, here's a DVD of like Beware Children at Play, or Nightmare. What was it? Nightmare Nurses in Ecstasy was some friggin' trauma release or something. They would have it. It was like, okay, fine. Let's check it out. It's like, you have it? I'll get it. I don't care.
I remember
didn't they have a card or something too? As you bought stuff, they would like kind of like mark the card off, and maybe you would get like a discount or like a free disc after buying like 12 or 13 things. I could be thinking of another store.
I don't remember that for sure. I could
be thinking of another store.
It was it's funny you bring up Trauma, because that's exactly what I was going to mention was, the couple of VHSs that I got from there, but that was the first time I saw Toxic Avenger in a store, and seeing Trauma, another one being Death by Temptation. You're like, what the fuck is this? Like what is, what was the other one? I think I found that DVD of it.
I think I found The Hanging Woman at a Suncoast, which is a Nashi film, which was just recently blued by Full Moon under Orgy of the Living Dead. It was released by Troma. It was the late 90s, I think. It was a Nashi film. I think I found that at a Suncoast. It's very possible.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
The other one I was going to mention is the old Surf Nazis Must Die.
Oh, yeah.
Like Leroy's Mama. You know what I'm saying? Like, what the hell is this? What am I, like, do I want to spend the $35 that this DVD probably cost me?
Yes. The answer, yes.
Totally.
While it wasn't like a video store that you would go and rent it, going to Suncoast or a place like that and seeing something like that, like, what the hell? I need to know.
Yeah.
I need to know. Surf Nazis Must Die. I need to know what the hell this is. Like, I'm going to regret this probably the rest of my life, but I am going to the counter right now and paying for it. And I'm going to open it right now. Can you put this on? I need to see. I don't even want to wait till I get home. Just put it on. I need to see what it is. If it sucks, I'm just going to leave it here and walk out in shame.
Oh, my God. All right. Next, I wanted to bring up, And the one is kind of crumbling here. It kind of bums me out a little bit here. But my Book of the Dead releases. You remember these bad boys?
Yeah.
Of the Evil Dead. Initially, just the first one. You know, the detail on the pages and different things. When this initially came out, I was blown away. You know, kind of like you mentioned as far as special editions with things. This one, you know, the eye would cry and shit. They don't do it anymore. But, you know, it was absolutely wild where it was when special editions of movies were coming out, you weren't seeing shit like that where it's like an actual physical replica or something like that. Blew my mind. I absolutely love that and still one of my favorites.
I had those. They felt terrible, but they were just incredible to have. And I went through a time that I had lost my job and I had to sell a lot of stuff, and those editions were something I had to sell. It was just one of those times, and I had to sell a lot of stuff. I had the Sleepaway Camp Red Cross edition, that box set that they had come out with that was pulled immediately because they got like a cease and desist from the Red Cross because of the logo on the front of it. The Halloween Anchor Bay DVD that came with like a film cell of the film. I had that one, and that one I unfortunately had to get rid of. But yeah, there was those Books of the Dead were great. I just they kind of started to fall apart anyway, but people obviously still wanted them. I still want them today. I mean, I sold those years and years ago.
That bad boy it's
coming apart.
They could have really put Dead Skin on here.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
It's like, this thing is not aging very well, and it kind of worries me at times. You know, they fall off the shelf. No, I can't start all that. I'm just kidding.
I feel like you know what you should do with those? You should get those like 3D picture frames and just put them in a frame and just stay there, because you probably have like 7 other editions of Evil Dead, and just put those in there. They're in a frame. They're not going anywhere, and they're protected as protected they can be, and they'll probably disintegrate still in there. But at least they're up on the wall and look nice still.
right. Yeah, I love that. And I should too, actually. That's a really good idea. You know, kind of preserve them a little bit.
Yeah, as best you can, because I mean,
for sure.
You can see. I mean, you have them in hand. I don't have them anymore, but they're falling apart.
Yeah,
and they've probably been falling apart for years.
Yeah. So now this next one here, this is kind of my example of falling into, you know, getting DVDs and waiting for a DVD and possibly like a Blu-ray coming out, messing up the price. But I got this bad boy some time ago. Did you ever watch the original Woman in Black?
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, wow. So I picked this up. It was, for the longest, I swear, it was just years and years I waited on, looking through Amazons and eBays, and anywhere you'd look, it was hundreds of dollars, like every time. And it's a fucking DVD. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, just before this, I had actually bought a copy of Popcorn off of Amazon. Got it in the mail, and it was a burnt disc that was expensive.
That's the worst.
And I went to send it back, and the company had like closed down their shop and everything like that. So, boom, stuck with a black disc with a printed off disc cover.
Ouch.
So luckily that didn't happen with this bad boy, and I was super excited, but I was so nervous because it wasn't the hundreds of dollars that what it was, but somebody just might have been, you know, was in a tight spot and was going to sell it, and I'm like, I need that bad boy. Have you ever seen that movie?
I have not seen it in a very long time, but I have seen it before. I don't have it, but I have. A long time ago I saw it.
Yeah, I dig that. I dig that one.
That actually happened to me on Amazon with it was actually deep discount. I think that fucked up. It was an unearthed release, the Aftermath Genesis DVD. Okay. It had gone out of print for a while, and a used one would be like $75.
Mm-hmm.
So not the hundreds of dollars, but yeah, it'll be a used for that one. And deep discount actually has an Amazon account, and they had it listed for brand new, 99 cents. Somebody screwed up there, so I got it with the shipping for like $5.
It was real?
Yeah. Legit copy. I think
holy shit.
It was a new copy, and the new copies would go around for $100. So I think they messed up and just didn't add the extra zeros and sold it for 99 cents probably instead of $99. And
oh my God, what the fuck? That is so crazy.
It came back in, I don't know if it came back in print or I think Unearthed had printed it again, because you would be able to find it for the normal price of like $20 or whatnot. But at the time, a used one would be like $75, new would be like 100, and yeah, they sold it on Amazon for like 99 cents plus shipping.
Whoa, that's incredible. I don't have that luck, dude.
Most of the time I don't, but over the years, you collect for so long. I mean, I found a couple years ago, before they re-released an Arrows edition of the Vincent Price box set, which would go on eBay for like $200. Mm-hmm. I found locally, I was just driving by a garage sale, and I went over there. I was like, you got any movies? And they had that sitting there. It was used. It was open. So, what do you want for this? Like, I don't know. It's like 6 movies, like $20. Sold.
Yeah, damn.
At the time, it was going for like $200 on eBay. I don't know what they go for now because Arrow has since released it again. But yeah, that was one of the ones. You want $20 for it? Like, I couldn't get my wallet out fast enough.
Right. That is sick. I love that. Tell me. Yeah, that's sweet. That's like something that just keeps on kind of like re-registering my head. Like, God, the Aftermath DVD is something that keeps popping up. Like,
oh shit, yeah,
that's awesome.
I could not believe. I was sitting at my computer at the time, and I think I was looking for jobs at the time. I think it was when I was unemployed, and I was like, I can't check out fast enough. Give me the movie. This is an error. Give me it. I got it.
Oh my God, awesome. All right, tell me your take on this bad boy here. What did you think of this?
What the hell is that?
Happy Death Day.
I didn't like it.
You didn't? All right. Okay.
I didn't like it.
I'm eager to hear. Well, tell me your thoughts on it.
I honestly watched it once. I think I went to the theater to see it.
Okay.
And I didn't like it, and I don't remember a lot about it because I just kind of blocked it from my mind.
Oh man, it was one of those movies where you have like all different movies that do the Groundhog's Day and do the kind of circle of time of I'm trapped in this loop and different things. But it was something about it for some reason that it just worked for me, and I loved it, and I just fell for it. And this company, I think it's Zobi Fright Pack or some shit like that. They do like the different like subscription boxes. Okay. And I was just kind of starting, with my videos and different things on here. I was like, well, I'll check one of these out. It's got a couple of movies, that are kind of cool on here and different themes, whatever. And that was in there. It's signed by the dude who was the killer.
Really?
His name is Rob Mello.
Okay, that's cool.
It's
I see it now. I didn't notice it on the front before.
Yeah, like a legit, like decent. It's got like the JSA authentication on it and shit like that. It was so solid, and I was like, that is fucking sweet. Like, I did not expect that at all, and I absolutely love having that, having that in my collection. It's kind of one of those things where, it's just weird enough where I come downstairs and don't have my lights on, and if I catch that in the right light, or if I have somebody who hasn't ever been over, they're like, what the fuck is that?
I get that. That's definitely that is definitely a cool piece to have to sign too. But yeah, I remember going to see the movie, and it just didn't do it for me.
Okay, all right.
And I'm trying to like run it back through my head right now, and I just can't. That's even like Your Next was another one that I went to see in the theater, and I just hated it. I just couldn't stand it. And even that one, the only thing I can remember really from that one is when they did the kill scenes, there was a lot of shaky camera stuff. And the one scene that it was just a goddamn flashing light that I would get a friggin' migraine from, and it drove me insane sitting in the damn theater. But you know what? I may have to rewatch Happy Death Day again, 'cause I just can't friggin' remember it right now.
Yeah, I would say, I mean, that movie was pretty cool, as far as some of the things that could have fallen very flat on its face. For some reason, it kind of even reminded me of like a silly 90s like Jawbreaker type thing, which I fell for. I'm like, this is pretty tight. I dig this.
I remember going to see Jawbreaker just because of the chicks that were involved with that. I remember taking a girlfriend probably at the time that was just like, oh yeah, let's go see this. Why? I got Rose McGowan. This movie sucks. Yeah, doesn't it?
Yeah. Oh my God! All right. Last but not least, let me hear your take on this bad boy here. What did you think of Midsummer?
Ah, boy.
Didn't like it.
That was one of the last movies I went to see before the world went to hell.
Okay.
Um, I th- well, first, let me say that the the mushroom visuals were quite accurate. Let me start by saying that. Um,
Okay.
but I wasn't a big fan of it. It I mean, at this point, it's a couple of years. If anybody watching has not seen it, you may want to stop watching this right now. But
Yeah.
when it got going, when the old couple jumps off the cliff, and why they jumped feet first instead of head first, I'll never understand because they're committing suicide.
Mm-hmm.
But once that happened, I was like, all right, here we go. Let's get it going. And it was probably another half hour before anything really happened again, and it just drove me insane. I didn't see the director's cut of it. I just saw it in the theater because I know the director's cut is what, at least a half hour more.
Yeah, it's like 20-some minutes more. Yep.
All right, it's 20-something minutes more. But after that scene, it kind of dragged for me for like a half hour, and then something
Okay.
would happen again. It was like, all right, let's get it going now. And again, it slowed down again for a while. It almost felt like I forget the director's name at this point. It felt like he was trying to make some sort of long, epic film, and to me, it just didn't work.
Okay. Okay.
What are your thoughts on it? Because obviously you have a copy of it.
Yeah. I mean, the funny thing is, I can say is I was introduced to him through Hereditary.
Mm-hmm.
When that movie came out, initially it came out and I wasn't falling for the hype. All I saw was just these fucking lists on the internet of top 10 horror movies of all time that are the best, and it's The Shining and all of these movies that are actually classics, and then has Hereditary. I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not even giving this a chance. I can't do it. And finally I
Yeah.
ended up getting it as a gift. And so I watch it, and I kind of watched it through a span of 3 days, and I loved Hereditary. I don't know if you've seen that movie, but
Oh yeah, I've seen it.
obsessed with it. I love that one. There's so many different layers to it, to why I loved it, and just different details to it. So then Midsummer came out. I go to see it the first day it comes out. Can't wait. Go to the theater, and I remember the end credits going through, and I'm just kind of like sitting there still, and I go to get up, and I'm walking out, and like the whole time I'm just like, that movie sucked. Like, that was terrible. Like, I was so bummed out. Like, yeah, there was a couple of cool parts or whatever, but it was like, I really wasn't giving a shit about da 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 da. But then what ended up happening was, it was like the weeks after, literally it was weeks after, there started being different little details about the movie that were popping up, and I'm like, I wonder if this may be correlated with this, and this is why this happened, and oh, well, maybe when she was this, and the little thing, there was all these details and different shit that were all over online, to where I started really looking into, different things, and different, old like pagan rituals and things
Mm-hmm.
that they kind of followed along, where I was like, all right. And I think one thing too, along with it, was just the attention, as far as just some of the detail and the visuals and all the aesthetics that went into it as well, uh, really drew me back. When it came out on Blu-ray again, I checked it out, and I was like, oh, I love this movie. There's
I get you.
lots of things that I really, really dig about it. And there's not too many movies where, if I have that first initial reaction, I'm gonna go back to. But I think it was the fact of that I kept on thinking about it, and there was just different details that were just, digging at me. And I was like, all right, I got to go back watch it, and see just different little things in the background. Even like something like, there's a picture over her where the girl is hugging a bear or some shit, and she's crying on the guy's lap, and he winds up in a bear at the end. And just wild. Just, just crazy little shit where it's like, what? Like, I don't know. So, but then this edition came out. A24 initially released 4K and then a Blu-ray of it. And just as far as, just there's some nudie pictures in here I can't show, but as far as like just the book of it, the attention to detail with that, some of the imagery, the artistry, here, Ragnar, can't think of the dude's name now, but
Yeah, I
just
know
killed it.
Yeah.
So the
The
attention
packaging
to
of that was
detail.
very nice. The
Yeah.
packaging of that was very nice. I had to, not that I had to, like, I will grab some stuff for a Fistful of Horrors on Instagram.
Yeah.
He had wanted that edition, and so I did have that edition in hand and looking at it. I mean, besides it being like completely oversized, it was huge, but
Yeah, it is.
it was really really nice looking. That the packaging on that was great for sure.
Yeah.
That's a nice addition to have if you're a fan of the film.
Yeah, for sure. Okay. And you know what? I completely appreciate hearing other people's takes on things too. And, you know, the beauty of all these things too is that, you know, I don't necessarily have to love the same thing as the next guy does. They don't have to, but I appreciate people's opinions too. So, you know, keep that in mind, you know.
Oh, no. You follow me on there. I talk to everybody. Somebody comments on something. If it's something that's just a like, I'll just like it. But if anybody asks me a question or asks opinions and whatnot, I talk to everybody. Like I'm not one of those people that like, well, I don't like this. You like this? Well, you're an asshole. No, I'm not one of those people. Like, hey, you know, like,
I love that.
Hey, everybody is actually allowed to like stuff that you don't like, and I'm fine with that. And I appreciate hearing other people's opinions on things. I appreciate them if they actually listen to mine. That's nice. But yeah, Midsommar has been one of those films that people love it or people hate it. There isn't one of those in betweens that it was all right. Like no, I loved it. Oh, that movie sucked. Like those are the two sides of it. That's one of those films that there's no in between with. But hey, if somebody likes it, like hey man, you enjoy it, by all means enjoy it.
Totally.
I have no problem with that.
Totally. Okay. Now this is wrapping up our interview, man. I've taken more time than I even asked, but you know, these are some of my favorite interviews that I get to do because I'm a fan of your page. I'm a fan of a lot of different things. The horror community on here is a beautiful place. I absolutely am such a fan with so many, you know, different people, and it's really, really cool to have this outlet. You know what I'm saying? Like as far as me being a teenager and being able to have this, just as far as seeing different collections and, you know, different people's special editions and shit that they have in their collection. I would have loved to have that, but an even cooler thing is I'm now in my 30s and I get to see that. So
I agree with that. Absolutely. I agree with that. Absolutely. What I do on Instagram, I do have a Facebook account, but Facebook, people just suck. Like it's like even just talking about like Midsommar or whatnot. Like you know, I like it. Oh, I didn't like it. Then somebody will chime in. It's like, oh, you like that? You're just stupid. Like, hey, I don't have time for that. Instagram, you really don't get that. Instagram, you really every once in a while you'll get somebody, but for the most part, the whole horror community on Instagram is solid. Everybody just appreciates everybody. Everybody admires everybody's collections and just talks to each other like human beings, and that's what I love about Instagram. That's why I keep doing what I'm doing on there, is people appreciate it, they say it, and I appreciate other people's pages and whatnot. There's so many killer pages on there that it takes you out of the normal everyday hell that you live in, whether it be working or the stupid COVID shit. It's very much a great place to be every day.
Totally. I can't agree more, man. Totally.
Yeah.
All right, let me ask you as far as a finale here.
Yeah.
If you could go to a filming location and watch any movie that was filmed at that location, where would you go and what movie are we going to be watching?
Wow. I gotta go with Halloween.
Oh man,
the street. I've never been out to California. I've never been to the. I know they do like tours and whatnot out there. I've seen plenty of people that have done them before. But if I was able to sit on the street or in one of those yards, and you know, with a screen and everything, and actually watch the film where it was actually shot, I would be happy.
Dude, I have the perfect idea. Have the screen on the bush. There you go, flat surface. Have Michael peeking from right behind it there, and just have the movie playing up on the damn bushes.
Or put it on the laundry room with.
Oh my God.
Just have it on the side of the laundry room with getting knocked off. Like, okay, if it's on the side of that, it's not that big, but no, I'm good. right across there. Good.
So solid. I love that. I love that. Look, man, this has been absolutely amazing. I can't wait to see, you know, what you have next. Sometimes I regret looking, but it's in the most of complimentary ways. This has been so sweet. I really, really appreciate your time. Thank you once again for your time, man. Thank you for doing this and being on. I truly appreciate it.
Dude, thanks for reaching out for me and asking me to do this. This was a lot of fun. I've never done something like this before, so I really appreciate it, man. Cheers.
Awesome. Absolutely, man. You take care. Stay safe. You know, and all
You
this
too, man.
bullshit. Let it all roll off, and let's get by it. And maybe we'll meet up at a horror convention at some point.
That would be nice. Life get back to normal. We have normal horror conventions. That'd be amazing.
That'd be so sick. I agree.
Yeah, man.
All right, man. You take care of the lo-fi horror guy, my dude, Goreforever. Go and check out his page if you're not. This is going to be edited, and I'm going to have it up on YouTube here in the next week or so. So I'll send you a link when that's all finished. And, in the meantime, man,
Awesome.
you take
Thanks,
care.
man. Yeah, man. See ya.
Have a good night.
You too.
Bye-bye.
He's a lo-fi horror guy. Yeah, he's kind of a guy, but he is so lo-fi a horror guy. Yeah. Lo-fi horror guy has been recorded in front of a live studio audience.